Welcome to Western Sahara. It sits on Africa's northwestern edge, a slice of land facing the vast Atlantic. Morocco borders it to the north. Mauritania stretches along its east and south, roughly the size of Colorado or the United Kingdom. Yet, few truly know its story. A land defined by its darkness. Endless dunes roll across the horizon. Sand, in every shade, covers almost everything. Oases are rare jewels in this arid expanse. It is also strangely beautiful, a testament to survival. Very hot, especially in summer. Rain is a scarce visitor. Strong winds are a constant companion. They blot out the sun. This shapes the people too. Its coastline stretches for over 1,000 kilometers, a dramatic, often desolate meeting point. These waters are rich. It's a source of food and contention. A boundary between two powerful forces of nature. Who are the people of this land? The Sahrawi. Indigenous. Nomads for centuries. They knew the desert's secrets. They moved with the seasons, with their herds. Then came outsiders. Spain arrived in the late 19th century. They claimed this territory. Spanish Sahara, they called it a colonial outpost. Life changed, but the desert and the spirit of his people endured. The old ways persisted beneath the surface. Spain's grip eventually loosened. They left in 1975. A power vacuum emerged. Morocco moved in swiftly. They claimed the land as their own southern provinces. The Polisario Front, representing many Sahrawis, resisted. They declared the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. War erupted. A bitter, protracted conflict. Families were divided. Many fled. The dream of independence faced a harsh reality. Why all this fuss over a patch of desert? Location, for one. It's strategically placed. Atlantic access is key. Then, there are other resources. Rich phosphate deposits lie beneath the sand. Some say oil and gas reserves too. The fishing grounds are lucrative. The United Nations calls it a non-self-governing territory. Its final status remains unresolved. A geopolitical chess piece. Many interests are at play here. Today, the land is divided. Morocco controls about 80%, the western part. This includes most towns in the coast. The Polisario Front controls the eastern strip, the free zone they call it. A heavily mined earthen wall, the berm, separates them. Many Sahrawi refugees still live in camps in neighboring Algeria. Their future hangs in the balance. A decades-long question mark. This is the backdrop to everything else. The desert may look barren, a vast emptiness, but beneath that stark surface, there's wealth. Resources that nations covet. They fuel the ongoing dispute. Phosphate rock is a big one. A giant conveyor belt snakes across the desert. This mineral is vital for agriculture. Control of these deposits means control of a significant global commodity, an asset Morocco controls. Then there's the ocean. Rich fishing grounds offshore. Fleets from Europe, from Asia. They all want a piece. It creates jobs, or at least it should for the locals. The potential for renewable energy is enormous. But development requires stability and investment. Beyond raw materials, economies function here, depending on where you are and who is in charge. In the Moroccan-administered West, development is visible. New roads, ports, schools, and hospitals. Morocco aims to integrate this territory. Tourism is promoted, especially in Dakhla, in the Polisario-controlled East. Life is about survival, relying on international aid. Foreign interests face criticism for profiting from a contested territory. The unresolved political status of Western Sahara casts a long shadow over everything economic. It's like trying to build a house on shifting sands. Uncertainty is the enemy of investment, or it attracts a certain kind of investment, one that's willing to gamble on the buoy political outcome. The lack of a final, internationally recognized settlement means that any economic activity can be challenged, any contract can be questioned. This instability impacts long-term planning. It affects the livelihoods of everyone living there, Sahrawi and Moroccan alike. Morocco's economic strategy is clear. Develop the region, pour in money, create dependencies. The goal is to make its control irreversible, to win hearts and minds through economic betterment, or at least to create a reality on the ground that the world will eventually accept. They offer incentives for Moroccans to move south. They subsidize goods. This is nation building, or perhaps nation cementing, through economic means. Every new road, every new port, every new job is a statement, a claim staked not just with flags, but with dirhams. The Polisario Front, from its base in Algeria, actively campaigns against what it sees as the illegal exploitation of Sahrawi natural resources. They lobby internationally. They take legal action where possible. They argue that any economic activity that doesn't benefit the Sahrawi people, or that happens without their consent, is theft. This puts pressure on international companies and governments. It keeps the issue alive in international forums. Their struggle is not just military or diplomatic, it's also economic. A fight for control over their homeland's wealth. The international community remains divided or cautious. Some nations tacitly support Morocco's position. Others lean towards Sahrawi self-determination. Most are caught in the middle, preferring a negotiated settlement. Trade agreements become political footballs. The United Nations tries to mediate, but progress is slow. Decades slow. This geopolitical deadlock directly impacts the economic prospects. It means that the true economic potential of Western Sahara, for all its people, remains largely untapped, or, at best, unevenly distributed, hostage to a larger, unresolved question of power and sovereignty. Food in the Sahara. It's about survival, about ingenuity. The Sahrawi people coax life from an unforgiving land. Their cuisine is a testament to resilience. Every ingredient is precious. This isn't just eating, it's a philosophy, a way of understanding. The desert's harsh generosity. They make a little go a long way. This is food that tells a story of endurance. In Sahrawi culture, eating is communal. It's about sharing. Hospitality is paramount. A guest is always welcomed, fed. Food brings people together. It strengthens bonds. It's a language understood by all. And then there's the tea. Sahrawi tea. It's not just a beverage. It's a ceremony, poured from a height to create a froth, ragwa. 3 rounds are always served. The first, strong and bitter, like life. The second, sweeter, like love. The third, gentlest, like death. Each glass has its meaning. It's the lubricant of Sahrawi social life. Consider a dish like marifisa. Simple, hearty. Bread, often unleavened, baked quickly, crumbled into a rich stew. The stew might contain vegetables if available, perhaps some dried meat reconstituted, or just onions and spices, simmered slowly. It's a one-pot meal, practical for nomadic life, filling, flavorful. Another staple might be a simple tagine, slow-cooked meat, perhaps camel, with minimal spices. letting the quality of the few ingredients shine through. These are dishes born of necessity, perfected by tradition. Not complicated, but deeply satisfying. Bread itself is a marvel. Often baked directly in the hot sand. Tafnaut or mela. A pit is dug. A fire burns down to embers. The dough is placed directly in the hot sand and covered. The result? A unique, slightly smoky loaf. Crusty on the outside, soft within. This ingenuity speaks volumes. No oven, no problem. The dessert itself becomes the kitchen. It's about adapting, using what's available. This resourcefulness is a hallmark of Sahrawi culinary tradition, a tradition that finds a way, always, flavors of resilience, food, identity, and the modern table. These food traditions are fiercely guarded, especially in the refugee camps. For decades, many Sahrawis have lived in displacement. Here, food becomes more than sustenance. It's a lifeline to their identity, a taste of home. Recipes are passed down. Mothers teach daughters. Preparing traditional dishes is an act of cultural preservation, a quiet defiance against erasure. It's a way of saying, we are still here. The dream of returning to their land is also a dream of returning to its flavors. In every shared cup of tea, in every carefully prepared meal, there's a story of a people waiting, Layun. The name means the springs in Arabic, founded by the Spanish not so long ago. Now, it's the de facto capital of the Moroccan-controlled Western Sahara, the biggest city, by far. It feels like a city on the move. Construction cranes dot the skyline. New apartment blocks rise from the desert floor, wide avenues, palm-lined in places. Economically, Layun is the engine room for the Moroccan administration in the territory. Government offices are plentiful. Civil servants, police, military. The city stands as a testament to Morocco's determination, but also as a constant reminder of the unresolved questions. Dakhla, further south, a finger of land pointing into the Atlantic, creating a vast, shimmering lagoon. This place feels different from Layun, more laid back, perhaps. The ocean's influence is stronger here. The wind is relentless. Once a small fishing outpost, Villa Cisneros, under the Spanish. Now it's marketed as a tourist hotspot, a kite surfer's dream. The economy in Dakhla is built on two pillars, fish and fun. The town itself is expanding rapidly. Its future, too, is tied to winds of political change. Beyond Layune and Dakhla, other settlements dot the landscape. Smara, inland, holds a special significance. Historically, a spiritual center founded by Sheikh Ma al-Ainain. It has a different feel, less about coastal industry or administration, more rooted in the desert's deep past. Then there are smaller coastal towns, Budur, for instance, with its lighthouse. These places are quieter. Life moves at a slower pace. They are not the main engines of the Moroccan development push, but they are part of the territory's fabric, each with its own story. These smaller towns often serve specific local economies. They provide a glimpse into the more granular reality of the territory. They reflect the power dynamics, the economic forces, and the enduring cultural identities that define this land. Islam is the bedrock here, Sunni, of the Maliki school. It arrived centuries ago, settled into the desert landscape like the wind. It's not a loud, ostentatious faith, more like a quiet, steady pulse beneath the surface of daily life. It shapes routines, It informs values. It provides a framework for understanding the world and one's place within it. This faith is deeply woven into the Sahrawi identity, a constant companion in a land of shifting sands. Holy men, marabouts, hold a special reverence. Their tombs, often simple structures, dot the land. Faith provides more than just spiritual comfort. It offers a source of unshakable resilience. Family and friends. In Western Sahara, this is the absolute core, the cornerstone of society. We're not talking just the nuclear unit. Think bigger, much bigger. The extended family is paramount. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, a sprawling network of kinship. Lineage is traced carefully. Tribal affiliations, the E, are deeply significant. This is your first circle of loyalty, your primary source of identity and support. It's an anchor in a world that has often been turbulent. Marriage in Sahrawi culture is a big deal, a very big deal. It's not just two people deciding to shack up. It's a union of families, a continuation of lineage. Tradition runs deep here. Negotiations between families are key. The groom's family usually makes the approach. Respect, delicacy. These are the watchwords. It's a carefully choreographed dance, one that has been performed for generations. Love is there, sure, but family approval, tribal connections, these often come first. Life in Western Sahara has its own cadence, a rhythm dictated by the sun, by the calls to prayer. Mornings start early. First, prayer. Then the day begins to stir. Always, there's time for sweet Sahrawi tea. The midday sun is fierce. Work slows. A siesta is common sense, not laziness. The main meal is a communal affair. As the sun dips, the air cools. Evenings are for socializing. More tea. Storytelling is an art form. Oral traditions carry history and culture. Daily routines adapt naturally. These small moments of shared humanity define the Sahrawi spirit. Western Sahara, a name that speaks of sand, of wind, a land etched by sun and timeless forces. Its story is one of stark, undeniable beauty, and of a relentless, ongoing contest. Its people, the Sahrawi, are profoundly hardy, resilient. Nomads turned settlers. Then, some became refugees. Their identity has been forged in this harsh crucible. This is a difficult, demanding, yet cherished home. So, what now? What does the uncertain future hold? Western Sahara remains a complex puzzle, unsolved, unresolved. Entire generations have patiently waited. Real, lasting solutions seem as distant as a desert mirage. Their enduring hope for return, for true self-determination, burns brightly. Preserving their unique and rich culture is a daily struggle. The youth look towards the future. The spirit of this place and of its remarkable people endures. If you enjoy it, please subscribe and share. Thank you.